Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Gags, 7, 8, gute Nacht, 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Gags, 7, 8, gute Nacht, 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Gags, 7, 8, gute Nacht, 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Gags, 7, 8, gute Nacht.
Hello fellow pilots, I'm Major Payne and this is another episode of How to Play. Today I'm going to talk about Me-410 B-2. It's a new premium tier 6 heavy fighter, German one, and it's basically the same plane as in a tech tree, but there are two main differences. First is armament. We have 50mm cannon and we have two 30mm cannons, as you can see on the screen now, and the range is 1300 meters for the 50mm cannon, damage per second 550, so it's huge damage. It's a huge sniper gun, and we have those 230 to support that, with also very good damage, 180 damage per second, 240 rounds per minute, and range 576 meters. So the biggest difference between those two planes, the tech tree one and the premium one, is the firepower. Now we also have a difference in speed. It's not significant, but it is. So standard Me-410 from the tech tree have top speed in level flight 600 km per hour, and this one have 605. Cruise speed is also a little bit different, so just slightly different, slightly better than the tech tree one. Now the biggest advantage of this plane compared to the tech tree one is its firepower. So we have huge firepower with huge range, and that allowed us to capture sectors quicker, because when we can deal, like in this case here, I'm waiting for the air defense aircraft to be respawn, yeah, but still I just do one shot and I have one of this heavy air defense gone. I don't have to waste much time, so you see how quickly that's going for me, and that's the advantage. If I can delete those planes so quickly, then I can capture sectors quicker. Of course it's not easy. It's require you to have good pilot with many skills, marksman 1 and 2, and of course equipment calibrated, ready to go, yeah. So that's another example. Look at how quickly that can go. Yeah, so 2 shots and I have one heavy air defense done. Another one is coming and no chance, and I don't have to get back to him, I don't have to make any turn, and that's how quickly that goes. Tech tree 410 is also very good, specifically with the special pilot Schneider. It's also very good firepower, but not as good as this one, and specifically not range good as in this plane. So this range gives you this element of surprise very often, so that's very good. Now let's talk about the build. So obviously for first slot is culminator sight, same as on pilot skills we need marksman 1 and 2, must have. Now on guns we have 3 different options. I have bolt carriers here, but we can also use long gun barrels and gas operation actions, and it seems to me like all those equipments work for this plane. I choose bolt carriers because that's what I think it's the best. I prefer to have this damage constantly firing at bombers or other targets. I don't overheat my guns, so in long term it feels like I'm doing more damage with this. And I also had this special project, so I just used that because there's extra bonuses on it as well, very good one for damage, so I don't lose that much damage output and I can fire for longer, and I don't feel I need more range. Like long gun barrels give you extra fire range, but I don't feel that's needed here. Long gun barrels can be used only because they not reduce the accuracy, so that would be a good argument for using long gun barrels. And I tried that also works, but I prefer to have this bolt carriers. That's, in my opinion, works best for this plane, but you can very well have the gas operation action or long gun barrels and you're still gonna be able to do very good results as I do in this one. In terms of speed and maneuverability, I prefer to have this mix build. I have boost injections and a lightweight power unit here. So basically I have mix build for speed and maneuverability, and I think that's the best because we need this top speed, we need the acceleration very often, and we need to improve a little bit this very bad maneuverability. We have base 16-second average turn time, so it's basically the worst maneuverability between the heavy fighters on tier 6, same as the Tech 3 410. And we just get into the biggest problem of 410 B2, and it's his maneuverability and other heavy fighters on tier 6 which do have maneuverability compared to us. Yeah, so all those other heavy fighters like XP54, P38L, P38J, Q102, they are way much more maneuverable and they have more or less the same speed and altitude performance. So the problem is that if they actively try to dodge you, like in this case my friend here just tried to dodge me, we're not even able to go for another circle. So we just have this one opportunity in head-on to take out this enemy or significantly damage this guy, so we can finish off with tail gunner. But that's not the case here. So if I'm not lucky, I'm not accurate enough, then I'm in trouble. It's very difficult to put this to work. Like if he's actively maneuvering, you don't know where he's turning. Like it's very difficult, and you have like maybe few shots because he's closing into you very fast. You know, this is very difficult. And this is exactly the same problem with Tech 3 410. I was doing this video about 410 in the past, and that was exactly the same problem, that I wasn't being able to win the dogfight with other heavy fighters at tier 6, most of them. It's very difficult to create this favorable conditions, so we have to have this altitude advantage, we have to go slow, and the enemy, if he's climbing, he's also going slow. That would be the perfect condition for this engagement. Then we have biggest chance to hit this enemy. But that's not always the case, and the problem is that this is very difficult to kill or damage significantly that kind of enemy. Good player, I mean, yeah. Always gonna be someone who's not really learning anything and keep going head on, even though he's get killed a couple of times and he's keep going head on and not learning anything. But good players won't go head on. They know that 410 is too strong and they will try to avoid head on, dodge, and then get behind you. So that's the biggest problem, and it's not much we can do about it. Like in this case, I actually managed to trick my opponent here, so he turned right in front of me. I slowed down, but even though I still didn't manage to do enough damage, yeah. But at this point, yeah, I managed to put some critical hits on his engine and tail with my tail gunner, so that's helped me here, because other way I would be just gone. He would chase me down and kill me. I wouldn't be able to do anything about it, but because of this critical damage he get, I managed to disengage and come back for another attack. So if you see that enemy have this heavy fighter like P38L, then always try to get a little bit higher and always try to keep this altitude advantage over this heavy fighter, yeah. In a head-on attack, of course, nothing stands a chance, not even P38L with his rockets. We have such a good range on this cannon that P38L is gonna be deleted before he even fire all his rockets, yeah, as you see here. Now, this example here shows you how you should actually engage. So you see, in head-on you need to put this 80-90% of damage like I did here, and then you can use your tail gunner to finish off. So that's the best way to do it, but it's easier to say than do it. It's not so easy. It's very difficult. But that's the way you should fight this plane, and if you can't be accurate enough, then you're gonna get killed very often. I forgot to mention that we have 4 rockets here, the same as in a Tech 3 plane. As you see, they can be very useful to finish off some ground targets, and you just need to look for the opportunity. Like in here, I just don't want to go and turn after this air defense, so I decide to destroy 2 AA guns on the ground and capture this sector. You can also use these rockets in a head-on or another situation against the aerial targets. So to sum up a little bit, this is a very good machine and fun to play, but it's definitely not overpowered. It doesn't have this air-to-ground capabilities, so we cannot take over the mining plant like, for example, where you can do it in P38J or P38L. And so it's gonna struggle also in dogfights with those American heavy fighters. So on any contested sectors we're gonna have a problem. But nonetheless, it's still a very good plane, and it's definitely worth to grind these missions to get this, or even buy certificates. It's really worth to have this machine in your hangar and have fun to one-shot all those planes at this tier with such powerful cannon. Yeah, and I definitely gonna enjoy flying it, and I'm gonna fly a lot. I love this plane. I love the Tech 3 ME410, so I definitely gonna use this quite often. And that's it. That will be it in this video, I would say. Guys, I hope you enjoyed, found it useful, informative, and thank you very much for watching. If you like it, please leave a like and subscribe for future content. And I also want to thank all the players that helped me on the training room to test this plane in one-on-one combat, like Chili Vili or Edu. Thank you very much, guys, for your time and for your effort. And that's it. I'm gonna leave you here with some music. You can see what this plane can do in favorable environment when there is no real opponents for this machine.
Polizei, 3, 4 Grenadier, 5, 6 alte Gags, 7, 8 gute Nacht. 1, 2 Polizei, 3